Well, hello, everybody. My name is Shane Buksh, and I am the Senior Manager of National and Strategic Accounts for Seabourn. And I'm happy to have you here today to discuss everything regarding Seabourn and our Caribbean sailings. As a proud partner with the Cruise Web, we are here to inform you that you can cruise now, and the world is open, not to the fullest extent, but there are places that you can travel. And today we really wanted to speak in regards to the Caribbean. So I actually sailed on board the Seabourn Odyssey myself in late August. And today's presentation, I'm really going to show you about everything that the ship has to offer and what it was like to really get down to the ship right now. Because as you can understand, with so many COVID restrictions and policies in place, there are a lot of questions of how do I travel? So I want to take you into that step first, and then we're going to go through and show you everything about this beautiful ultra luxury product and all she has to offer. I apologize in advance as well with the transition on these webinars. It's hard sometimes the screens might change and slowly, and you might not see what I'm talking about while I'm speaking. So if it does happen like that, just bear with us and you'll see the pictures eventually changing on your side. Speaking of pictures, every single picture that you see on this presentation, I actually took with my camera on board the ship. So it was great to have firsthand experience of seeing the ship and seeing how she looked today. And these aren't stock photos or marketing photos. So it's really great you're actually going to see my firsthand experience. So there is really no safer time to dive into luxury. I really do think that a lot of people are saving their vacation time to maybe travel in 2023 or sorry, 2022, possibly 2023. But you know, people have been cooped up for the last almost 2 years now, and some people really do want to get away. And there are a lot of restrictions in place in regards to how you can get to places and what sailing and et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted to show you, again, my experience on how it was for me to actually sail down to fly down to Barbados and sail on board the Odyssey and what protocols were in place. So the first protocol in place was you need to be fully vaccinated. So this particular cruise with Seabourn right now, we do require all guests and crew to be fully vaccinated. So you do have to get fully vaccinated at least 2 weeks prior to arriving to the ship. And per CDC guidance, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca are the vaccines that we are allowing. Now, I myself, I'm actually in Vancouver, Canada, and in Canada, we've had 2 mixed vaccines have been given to some extent. And out of Barbados, you can be fully vaccinated with one style of vaccine, or if you do have mixed vaccines, saying one Pfizer and one Moderna, that is acceptable as well. As long as you have proof of being fully vaccinated for 2 weeks, that is the first step to actually get you on board. Now, the next step is you need to have a COVID-19 PCR test within 3 days of arriving to the airport. So this is not an antigen test. This is a PCR test. And there is slight differences in the way how they have to go to a lab to actually get the results come through. So you have to give yourself at least 3 days prior. So I would suggest that 3 days prior, you make the appointment. This way you get your negative results within 1 day or 2 days of you actually flying out to catch the ship. So that's step 2. Step 3 is you need to upload your required documentation to the Barbados BIM Safe app. Now, Bridgetown is in Barbados, and Barbados government have developed an app where you can actually download your all your information in regards to immigration, your test results, et cetera, and when you arrive at the airport, they're going to ask to see your documentation. Now, I'll be honest with you, even though you download the app, they didn't really look at the app when I arrived into Barbados. They wanted the printed copy. So there is a barcode that you do print out. It's a 2-sided piece of paper, and it gives you all the information with a QR code. So as long as you've done that, then you are good to go when you arrive. We do also ask that on seabourn.com, you check in, do your online check-in, and then you complete the risk assessment form. So you do know, obviously, that COVID is out there right now. So this is just a form stating to our guests that there is the risk of COVID in the world right now. Should something happen to you, we will take care of you on board, though. So we will not make it so you have to get off the ship right away. We will accommodate you and make sure that you're being well taken care of should something happen in regards to you getting down there and you get COVID when you arrive into Barbados or on the ship. Thankfully, since the ship has been sailing this summer, we have had no cases of COVID-19 on board the Seabourn Odyssey. So it's really great. We are taking all these precautions measures, getting people on board so that when they do get on board, there is no chance for them to actually contract COVID. Now, we do ask our guests to download the Seabourn Source mobile app, and this is an app that we've developed to help prevent a lot of face-to-face communication touch points. So on this app, you'll be able to download your boarding pass. So when you get to the ship, you just kind of use your phone and they'll scan your boarding pass. Of course, if you don't have access to a mobile phone, a smartphone, you can always print out the boarding pass as well. But we do encourage people to use the mobile app because it will allow you to do things such as shore excursions, spa treatments, dining. If you want to make any restaurant dining reservations on board the ship, you can do all that via the app. The next step is upon arrival in Barbados, you will take a transfer through the sterile corridor from the airport to the hotel. Sorry, airport to the pier. So what that means is as soon as you get off the ship, you'll clear customs, grab your bags, and you will go straight to the ship through an area that is considered the sterile corridor. Now, Seabourn does provide transfers if you have booked Flight Ease with us, which is our flight program. So we will take you from the airport to the ship and vice versa. There are a couple other companies that do private transfers as well that you can purchase through the cruise web, and they will pick you up and take escort you through customs and take you to the ship. All of these different transfer services, they will all go through the sterile corridor. So it is great to know that you are limiting your contact of people with COVID-19 and risk of getting infected, etc. And finally, when you get to the ship, we will do another test. It's an antigen test. And so what will happen is you'll get to the ship, to the pier. We'll have a waiting room area with coffee and tea and cookies and everything. And the doctors there will administer a test. You wait about 15 minutes, and then if you are good to go, then we will essentially say you passed and you're negative, you can now board. And it's a really great experience because when you get to the ship and you board, the captain, the hotel director, the cruise director, everyone is waiting for you at the gangway, applauding you as you come up the gangway because they know on how hard it was to get down there right now. But I will tell you, firsthand experience, when you get to the ship, you will realize that the world can be somewhat normal. And it felt like you didn't have a worry when you got onto the ship. And I will talk to you more about that in just a moment. So those are the steps to get to the ship. Now, for myself, I had not put a post like this on Facebook in such a long time. It's been almost 2 years since I was able to travel. So I was so excited to put this post up. And, my friends and everything were saying, I can't believe you're traveling and is cruising safe and this, that, the other. And I had to explain to them all the protocols that were in place, both on board and to get to the ship to make sure that, yes, it was. And, the day that I was able to hit post and put this on Facebook, I was super excited, and people were excited for me because it gave them hope that, yes, you can travel now. So with that being said, I'm going to take you through my journey of the ships. So if you do not know the Seabourn fleet, if you don't know Seabourn as a company, we are an ultra luxury boutique cruise lines. We have a total of 5 ships. The first 3 being the Seabourn Odyssey, Sojourn, and Quest. Now, these 3 ships hold 450 guests and 350 crew. Then you have the Encore and Ovation. These 2 ships are a little bit larger at 600 guests. And then our newest 2 ships, the Venture, which will be our first expedition ship, custom built for Seabourn, which will launch in April of 2022, holding 264 guests. And then her sister ship, which is not named yet, which will come out in 2023. So we will have a total fleet of 7. Currently, we only have 2 ships sailing, the Odyssey out of the Caribbean and the Ovation out of Greece. And she will make her way down to Miami come November. So we'll have the Odyssey and Ovation sailing. Now, as you can see, the images that are changing on your screen, the ship is spectacular. I really describe it as a boutique, ultra luxury resort at sea. If you go to a 5-star hotel, and you'll see the amenities that they have, the lounge spaces, the restaurants, the grand staircases, the service, the cuisine. That is what Seabourn is all about. a lot of people will ask, what is Seabourn being ultra luxury? Is it going to be with the word snobby is what I kind of people say, and will be a lot of pretentious people. And honestly, it wasn't at all. I was so pleasantly surprised. The guests that we have on board, a lot of them maybe are working professionals, or they're working wealthy, or they're retired, or they've been saving so much money during COVID and they haven't traveled that they want to just go in something a little bit more upscale. We don't. How I describe it is very country club chic. We are not requiring guests to wear tuxedos and ball gowns to dinner. It's smart. It's very smart dress, but it is not formal in any way. And that ambiance on board the ship does really feel that way. You're going to see guests from all walks of life, and you'll have your luxury clients who are used to the fine things in life. And honestly, you'll have the clients who are first time sailing on a luxury product, and then they get on board and realize that luxury is for anybody. It's how it's perceived, and they really do. They really did feel like on board when I speak to different types of guests, all walks of life. Everyone felt welcome, and everyone felt like they deserved to be there. I think especially after COVID, knowing that people haven't traveled so long, this was really great. People were really feeling that they deserved to be on a product like Seabourn. Again, we have well-appointed restaurants, 2 pools, 5 whirlpools, great lounge spaces for our shows and entertainment. And you can see the quality and even the way how the tables are even set up. It's little details that really make the ultra luxury experience. One big thing, and I'm going to talk about service in just a moment, is the service really does make the ships even more impeccable. I mean, you go on the ship itself and you see, wow, this is a beautiful ship. But even when you're on board and then you have the service to kind of match it, it really does elevate the overall experience of our guest experience on board. Now, speaking of service, each room has 2 personal suite hosts. You'll have your suite attendant and your hostess. Now, the 2 of them will work in tandem. As you can see to the left here, these were mine, Jessica and Patricia, and they were my attendant and suite hosts. The moment I got on board the ship, they welcomed me with a glass of champagne. They called me by my name, Mr. Buksh. Actually, everyone on the ship called me by name throughout the entire journey, which was really amazing because they know your name before you get on board. Basically, they have your guest profile and they get to know who's who, and it was really it was that little extra element that just really wowed me. And the staff on board, they're from all nationalities. They're fully vaccinated, and another thing too is, as you can see in the picture, they're wearing masks. So the nice thing about that is the staff are wearing masks, but the guests do not have to. So it really did create an environment where you felt a bit some sense of normality and felt safe. Now, you see pictures of the ship, the rooms there. The rooms are beautiful. Every room is a suite. You will have a choice of pillow selection, queen size bed. You'll have two sinks in each room, a full-size bathtub, marble countertops, walk-in closets. So, these are your typical cruise ship rooms. They're much larger. We go all the way from an ocean view room all the way to our winter garden suites, which were the ones you saw with the large living room and living space. The service, though, like I said, they call you by name. The little things that they do as well. I came back from a beach day on one of the days on my trip, and I was coming back, I figured I have sand all over me and I'm going to be really tired. I get to my room, and the picture will show in just a moment here, and the room steward, the room hostess and suite attendant, they had drawn a bath for me with rose petals, essential oils, and molten brown products. So you'll see the image come up very quickly and very shortly, but it was just, the intuitiveness of how they can meet your expectations and beat them. Really wowed me. And this is what a luxury, a person who usually travels to a luxurious hotel, 5-star hotel, would come to expect. So as you can see here, this was drawn out for me when I came back to my suite. So it was just those little moments that really show the service that Seabourn has to offer, along with the accommodation. Now, people go on cruise ships because they want a good meal, and let me tell you that the dining on board the Seabourn Odyssey was second to none. Some of the best meals I've ever had, and I'm not just saying that. We have multiple restaurants and even buffet-style restaurants, But even on the buffet style restaurants, it felt like you were eating in a 5-star cuisine dining room. We have Michelin star chefs, Thomas Keller. So Thomas Keller, if you don't know, he has Per Se and French Laundry, which are Michelin star awarded restaurants in the US. So, you can have a nice Thomas Keller steak and lobster thermidor. We have our beautiful dining room, which, we do not have formal dining. So you can, appointed dining. So you don't have to go to the dining room for 6 o'clock or 8:30 like most cruise lines. You could come as you are and be seated whenever you want within a time frame of the dining hours. You do have the buffets as well. The buffets are spectacular. The Colonnade is our name of our buffet style restaurant. And the food there honestly rivals what you would have in the dining room. We have our cafe as well. They can make lattes and all sorts of different coffee drinks. And all of this is complimentary. Even actually the screen you're seeing right here with the cheese and the cheese plate, this was actually in the buffet, in the Colonnade. And you can see how it's presented. It's not, kind of thrown in there and you grab tongs and you kind of serve yourself. We're serving you as well as we're presenting it very well. When it comes to beverages, we have a wider range of beverages to choose from. It's all included into your cost of your cruise. And we'll serve you dinners at wine that are typically like $30 to $50 bottles at home. So, you don't have, if you want to spend a little bit more, you can on the elevated wine service. This is getting bottles like Caymus and higher end wines. But I'll be honest, the wines that we're serving in the dining room, they're typically, like I said, $30 to $50 a bottle at home. So you're getting great quality wine. And if you like champagne and caviar, there is enough of it to go around. There is so much. I wasn't a huge caviar person myself. I never really had it before. But, after being with Seabourn and being on the ships, you do get spoiled. And you can see actually on the left-hand side, underneath the letters, underneath the words, you can see how they set up this caviar and champagne kind of afternoon treat in my room one day when I said, hey, I feel like having some caviar. And actually, when we talk about setting up in your room, every morning I was too tired to go get room service, to go to the buffet to kind of get breakfast or the dining room. So I'd ordered room service. This picture you're seeing right now is the room service. What they would do is they would come on board into your room and they would actually set up a table and present all the food. So it is not just, someone coming in and giving you the tray and saying, here you go, here's your breakfast. They would set it all up and present it. So, those little touches really made that ultra luxury experience true to in its form. Now, Seabourn is known for Seabourn moments. And what these are very unique things that we do, such as, the rose petal bath that I was telling you about, how the guests were calling you, how the staff were calling me by name everywhere I went. These are little moments that we do to really make it special. But there's 2 moments that we have that really make the Seabourn voyage extra special. The first is Marina Day. Now, Marina Day is it's Seabourn exclusive, and what we do is we deploy a platform off the back of the ship, and it comes out of the hull, and it basically comes down, and we will have all our water sports, so our kayaks, our banana boats, our speed couches. These will all be available for our guests to use free of charge. And it's a great day to spend on the water. And it really does feel like you're on a private yacht. Like, you see these yachts that have these fun activities and people are deploying right from the back of their ship. That's exactly what this is. And it's a full day of fun, complimentary, and you're able to whisk away in the water. When we did this was in, it was actually on our sea day, and we docked outside an island and they anchored, and we were able to do this and go around the ship and just have a blast. Now, there was another thing that we're known for, which is our caviar in the surf. Now, we actually call upon Carambola Beach, which is in St. Kitts. And as you can see here, it's a private beach club. So we go there for the day, and it's just our ship. There's no one else there. And we have a beautiful barbecue, steak and lobster barbecue lunch, beach barbecue lunch. The lunch was incredible in that tented area there. You'll see there's loungers and beach chairs. And this is a pure day of just enjoying a beach. And it was really exciting. And what really made it more exciting was the caviar in the surf. So this is a signature event done by Seabourn. And what happens is the captain, the hotel director, the cruise director, they all come out on a Zodiac, and they set up this beautiful setting of caviar in the surf. and all the guests are there, and they are essentially enjoying champagne and caviar on the beach. And again, it is one of those things that you will always look back and think, I did that. That was amazing. And everyone's talking about Facebook and Instagram and posting pictures. You know, when I posted these pictures on Facebook, people just loved it. They're like, where are you? And they felt very Robin Leach lifestyles of the rich and famous. And that's really what this felt like. So it was really, really enjoyable day in the water. Now, with our current COVID restrictions, we are restricted that if you are getting off the ship, you do need to do a ship's shore excursion. This allows us to keep within a bubble. So we'll have a various amount of shore excursions that you can go on. Not as many as we would typically have to offer, but we do have excursions that you are able to do. And then, of course, we have a Marina Day and our Caviar and Surf Day where you'll be able to get off and enjoy all the beach area. Now, a lot of people ask me, are they able to just get off the ship and kind of wander and go do some shopping and buy some trinkets? Unfortunately, not right now. Because of COVID, we need to make sure we stay in a bubble. Like I said, we have had no cases of COVID on board. And by doing this, it allows our guests to not have to wear masks throughout the entire voyage. And the people I spoke to, prior to going on the ship, they were a little bit concerned, saying, well, am I going to be stuck on board? And they were able to do shore excursions, just ship excursions. But most people are just going for the sake of getting away from the current COVID lifestyle and being able to be maskless and be in the water and have a nice meal and just be on a cruise again. And that's really what we do offer right now. Now, I want to show you this here because this is really, truly incredible. This particular sailing leaves out of Barbados. Now, if you are flying from either New York, Charlotte, or Miami, there are nonstop flights from each one of these major cities that go into Barbados. They get you there on the same day the ship arrives, and then they actually leave on the same day the ship arrives as well. So there's no overnight hotel required. Now, if you're not coming from New York, Charlotte, or Miami, then you could always connect on an overnight flight to one of these cities. Because as you can see, all three of these flights leave in the morning. So most flights that see are coming from the west coast of the US. You can fly from, let's say, Seattle or New York, whatever it may be, overnight to one of these ports and one of these cities and then fly down, and then same vice versa. So as you can see, the flight prices, especially if you're from New York or from Miami, are very inexpensive. And the cruise itself, to do a 7-day cruise on the Seabourn Odyssey in a veranda suite with your drinks, your gratuities, shipboard credit, and our worry-free promise, which basically is our promise to make sure that if something should happen, that you are covered for COVID policies, including all your taxes, can start at around $3,200 US. So when you add that to the airfare, you're looking at under $4,000 for a 7-day ultra luxury cruise. And the best part is we also give you your COVID test on board the ship free of charge for your entry back into the US. So we actually do a COVID PCR test party. And what this is we give you hot towels and champagne and hors d'oeuvres, and as you're waiting in the lounge to get your test, you're enjoying more luxurious COVID test experience than what you're probably used to going down to the ship right now. So it was really nice that we do something so in tune with the luxury experience. Now, through the Cruise Web, we do have some incentives, and the first is our current brand promotion. So if you do book a cruise before October 4th, on a 2022 cruise, so let's say you're not going to the Caribbean right now and you want to do, maybe you're looking for next year, we are offering up to $1,000 shipboard credit for select Northern Europe, Mediterranean, Alaska, Canada, and New England, and transatlantic voyage cruises, and up to $2,000 shipboard credit if you're booking in a penthouse suite or higher. So this is great because this helps you pay for some shore excursions, or you want to do some onboard shopping, or if you're like me and you like going to the casino, you can always make a deposit in the casino with that money. So if you book before October 4th, you have this on top of your current promotions that you have with Seabourn. As well, if you do book and you pay in full for bookings before October 4th, 2021 for next year, you will receive up to 10% off the base fare of your sailing, which is great because, if you're looking at something that we have a cruise, for instance, that goes from Vancouver to Tahiti, it's a 27-day cruise, and I think it starts at around about $13,000 or $14,000 US. At 10% savings, that's an extra $1,500 off, $1,500 off. So, if you are planning to go on a cruise for maybe next year, this is something you can look at. And if you do pay in full, you will save yourself an extra 10%. And on top of this, we do have a current promotion with the Cruise Web, which gives you $300 on onboard credit on any bookings made, regardless of when you're sailing, for bookings made between September 23rd, so obviously today, to October the 4th. So essentially, during this time frame, if you make a booking, you will get $300 onboard credit on top of all the other promotions that we currently offer. Now, the only thing that this doesn't include is on the Seabourn Venture, which is our brand new expedition ship I mentioned. On the inaugural sailing in April, this will not be covered from there. And with that being said, that is it for me. So I'm going to pass it over to the team at CruiseWeb to answer any questions. And I really hope you enjoyed this webinar, and I hope to see you on a Seabourn cruise very soon. Thanks again.